Hello and welcome. My name is Alex McMichael, and this is where I document my journey on becoming a multimillionaire. So, topics I want to discuss today. We're going to talk about time blocking, the difference between having talent and not having talent, and why that doesn't matter, and then just kind of talk about why if you suck now, so what? Okay, time blocking. Basically, I've realized and had this realization, and it's that everything's always vying for your time. And so time blocking is very important, just to literally shut out everything. I talked about this yesterday about focus. It's the removal of distractions. How do you focus on something, give your full undivided attention on it? It's don't let anyone else steal your time. This is what apps do with notifications, Facebook, social media. They want you to spend all your time on their thing, because then they can get paid more because you've advertised more. Additionally, emails, having yourself open for Slack channels, Teams. Those are all ways that you're letting other people dictate what you do with your time. It's really, really hard to get deep work done if you're constantly getting interrupted with other things. Your brain has, let's call them swim lanes. And there's time that it takes you to go from one swim lane to the other. And the problem is also when you switch from one swim lane to the other, you start back at the starting line. So you could be 50% of the way through that thought process, and then you get interrupted. Then you go and you start on something else that you're at zero, and okay, maybe you complete it because it was a tiny task, but then when you get back to that long thing that requires a deep work, you're not at 50% anymore. You're at zero. You're back at the starting line, or if you had actually written stuff down, you're at 25%. And so the nature of deep work and meaningful work, things that that is going to differentiate you from the rest of the market, is things that require deep work. And if you're letting things constantly vie for your time and distract you, then you're ultimately just not going to get it done. Maybe you can get it done eventually, but the difference between someone that can fully stay focused and not get interrupted is the difference between getting an hour of real work done or 10 hours or 8 hours of real work done. If you are constantly getting interrupted through the day, it's going to take you we can just put this in the context of writing a report for school, and every time that you have to stop to text your friend back, to check your Facebook, to check a Snapchat someone sent you've degraded where you're at in that process, where if you just buckled down and put your head down and did that thing for X amount of time, it would be done exponentially quicker. And this is something that Alex Hormozi talks about, ways to win, is if you can slow down, increase that time cycle. So for a lot of businesses, it's do this by the end of the week, end of the day. But if you don't have all these interruptions, you move that timeline down so it doesn't take you 8 hours to do 1 hour of real work, and then you say, okay, so this is actually going to take me 1 hour of real work. Not at the end of the day. I'm not going to have this done by the end of the day. I'm going to have this done in an hour. And then you figure out how to do that. You do it in 1 hour. And so now what used to take you a full work day now only takes you 1 hour. But guess what? You get 8 of those throughout the day. So if you are disciplined and can manage staying that focused for that long, you reduce that time horizon to what's a week and a half of work days down to one single day, and so you get to just move way quicker than everybody else. And then on that point of it's all about discipline. It's there's two types of people with any type of skill. There's those who are just naturally talented, and those who have to develop it. And I think so far in my business journey, I am unfortunately in the bucket of people who have to develop it, that aren't just like, I'm not just going to walk into it and become some prodigy. And the reality is that's most people. But and it's hard to look at someone who just like walks in and is like suddenly amazing at something. But that doesn't matter. Okay, so if you suck and you have to develop it, then that's just what you have to do. Like, what do you have from there? Like, okay, you suck. Like, okay, quit. Then you don't get where you want to go. And so whether you're talented or whether you have to develop it, you just have to work with what you have. Like, sulking and crying about the fact that you suck isn't going to change your outcome. It's just going to reinforce the outcome you already have. If you are so inside of yourself that you can't I suck at this, let me get better. And how do you get better? By doing. If you assume any rate of improvement at all, as long as you do it long enough, you will be fantastic at it. And that's another thing like that Alex Hormozi talks about, which is this context switching is like people don't stick with things long enough. Like, do something so long that it would be unreasonable for you not to be good at it. And so I take this in the context of like any hard skill. So I'm in the realm of software development, so let's just talk about that. It's like you can suck, like be awful at software development, but I guarantee you do it for 10 years. Like, it would be pretty damn unreasonable for you to still suck at it 10 years later. And so it's whether you're going to stick with that thing, whether it's software development, business, whatever, long enough to become good. If you don't have an innate ability at it, and to be fair, no one has innate abilities. When you are a baby, like, no one's good at sales. No one, like, you have no skills. And the reason people have quote unquote natural talents is because like things that happened in their life required them to develop them in ways that like aren't necessarily straightforward. Like, if you're good at sales, that means probably as a child you had to negotiate a lot of things and change people's opinions about things. And so, wow, all these skills that you just kind of naturally stumbled upon while you were a child suddenly work. Or basketball, for example, is if you're naturally good at basketball, well, probably when you were a kid, you had a ball and you liked to hit a specific spot with it, and so you did that, and you continue to do that. You didn't relate the fact that it was gonna help you with basketball later, maybe a sport you didn't even know about, but you already developed that skill, and that's just what talent is. And so if you suck, it just means you haven't developed the skills yet. And so you just have to suck long enough till you start becoming better at it. If you assume any improvement at all, as long as you do it long enough, you're going to crush at it. And so what's the takeaway? Just do it. Like, you suck, just do it. Oh, well, there's this problem, okay, what's the solution? Like, complaining and just getting mad that like life isn't a paved highway from here to being a gazillionaire isn't going to do you or anyone else good. In fact, it'll do more damage to you. No one likes to hang around a complainer, except other complainers. And so you're going to be stuck in this feedback loop of just bitching and never changing your outcome at all. You're just, like, that's your life now. Congratulations. So be okay with sucking and just do it. That's all I got for today. Thanks.